What's up, guys? Just here by my channel, and tonight we do a review for Monday Night Raw, which was good. And man, the fans were super loud on the Raw tonight. But I'm not complaining about it. But it was kind of good tonight and stuff. I enjoyed it. So, anyways, I have a little promo segment coming up with Seth Rollins and stuff. At ringside, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman all make their way out to the ring. Breaker grabs the mic from Rollins and tells the crowd he is the face of the WWE for the next 2 decades. He says he has a vision for the WWE that doesn't include Sami Zayn. He calls Sami ugly and says he doesn't like anything about Zayn. And Breaker is snapping Rollins and Heyman look on confused, and Breaker says Zayn is irrelevant and has nothing extraordinary about him. He says Zayn has an expiration date, and Breaker will make it tonight. He dares Zayn to come out so he can halt maul him. Heyman grabs the mic from Breaker and gives it to Rollins. Rollins asks Breaker if he's good, and then Bronson Reed grabs the mic. Reed says he's the man who beat up Seth Rollins and that he earned Rollins' respect, and that's why he's now part of the division. He calls out Jey Uso and tells Uso he will tsunami the respect out of him. Rollins gives Heyman the mic, and Heyman says tonight the Empire strikes back. Actually, the Empire strikes first, and tonight they'll take out Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Penta. Also takes a shot at Roman Reigns and says he's afraid to come back. Heyman says after tonight, Uso will be MIA like Reigns. Heyman talks of Rollins and says Rollins will destroy Penta tonight. Rollins now gets on the mic. Rollins says everything that has to be said has been said to. So he welcomes us to Monday Night Rollins and drops the mic, and the group leaves the ring. Ooh man, kind of crazy. I have a little backstage thing with Finn Balor and the Judgment Day and stuff. Uh, Finn Balor's trying up all their championship belts. They rest at Judgment Day in the clubhouse, and Roxanne Perez has a vial for Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez tells Perez that Morgan hasn't died, and she tells Perez to win her match. And daily JD McDonald wants to know what's going on with their tag titles and leave to talk to Adam Pearce. Dominic Mysterio gets a cake from AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is stalking Mysterio. That was funny. Alright, first match, Kairi Zane versus Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez. Zane and Perez circle each other before locking up. Perez punches out Zane and slams her into the corner. Zane slams Perez in the corner face first, and Perez comes back and locks Zane in a headlock. Perez slams down Zane by her hair and then rolls her up for a 2 count. Perez guillotines Zane on the second rope, and Zane tries to roll up Perez, who counters and rolls up Zane for a 2 count. Zane attempts another pin, as does Perez, and we get a 2 count on both. Perez slaps Zane, and Zane knocks down Perez with a back fist, and after her crowning Perez. Perez has a forearm and then slams into Perez off the apron. Back in the ring, Zane climbs the ropes and Rodriguez distracts the ref, and Zane allowing Perez to knock Zane off the top rope. Perez jumps on Zane's wrist against the ropes and commercial break. Back to Raw, Perez targets Zane's arm and gets her in a bridging hammerlock submission. Zane powers out of it and flips Perez off of her. Zane spears Perez and then takes her down with forearms. Zane hits a flipping neckbreaker on Perez and runs at Perez and hits a flying forearm to Perez. Perez rolls up Zane and then kicks her in the face. Perez hits a running uppercut on Zane, and then a springboard moonsault and covers Zane for a 2 count. Perez attacks Zane's arm some more, and Zane now kicks Perez, and Perez hits a DDT on Zane. Perez nails Zayn with a cartwheel and leg drop on Zayn and covers her for a near fall. Perez throws Zayn on the top turnbuckle and then climbs up herself. The two punch each other, and Zayn headbutts Perez off the top rope. Zayn comes off the top and hits a forearm on Perez. Zayn hits an Alabama slam on Perez and climbs the ropes. Rodriguez pulls Perez out of the ring, and Zayn hits a high crossbody on Rodriguez. Perez attacks Zayn and rolls her back in the ring. Perez goes for the pop rocks, but Zayn rolls up Perez and gets the win. So winner is Kairi Sane. After the match, Perez and Rodriguez attack Zayn, and Oscar runs out to meet the save. Oscar takes out Perez and then goes at Rodriguez. Perez gets Oscar from behind, allowing Rodriguez to get Oscar. Zayn saves Oscar, and they both take out Rodriguez and Perez. Jack King Raven talks to Sami Zayn about what happened and stuff, and uh, with the with everybody attacking him and stuff. So he doesn't pay full attention to everything and Bart Breaker and all that stuff. So Carry Cross, I mean, that's what I meant, Carry Cross. And then So he'll do it in Karen Cross later. Scarlett comes up to Raymond after Zayn leaves. Raymond asks her if she has anything to say, and she says no. We cut commercial break. Ampers was in the office with Ivanhoe and Judas Creed. Brutus Creed talked to Ampers. They're concerned that El Grande Americano is competing tonight. Brutus says they can't be possible. That can't be possible. Chad gives her. Pierce asks about what had to do with Americano, El Grande Americano, and competing. Ivanhoe asked to be on Evolution. The battle on Pierce and agrees. American made leave. Kairi Sane and Asuka come in and ask for a match against Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez. Pierce gives them a match at Evolution. So that Fire 4-way tag team for the belts and stuff is already complete. All right, a veil patch from Nikki Bella talks about the Evolution and stuff. All right, so second match coming up. If I can get the scrolling thing going. All right, so second match coming up: Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman. As Zayn makes his way out to the ring, carries across. Runs out and attacks him. Scarlett gives Cross a pipe and Cross clocks Zayn with it. Officials run out and usher Cross and Scarlett to the back and cut commercial break. We come back from commercial break and Zayn is pleading with Pierce and the other officials to let him compete. Pierce lets him compete, and Braun Breaker comes out with Paul Heyman. The bell rings and Breaker laughs at the condition Zayn is in. At the condition Zayn is in. Zayn tries to get some punches on Breaker, but Breaker dodges the punches and slams against Zayn in the corner. Breaker yells that Zayn is pathetic and then kicks him. Breaker rips off Zayn's bandages and then throws Zayn in the air and let him drop into Breaker's knees. Breaker throws Zayn across the ring and then runs at Zayn, and Zayn clotheslines Breaker down. Zayn elbows Breaker and takes down Breaker with a double axe handle. Zayn comes off the middle rope, and Breaker spears him mid-air. Zayn crawls out of the ring, and Breaker runs across the ring and takes down Zayn again. This time outside the ring, Michael Cole is losing his mind. Breaker throws Zayn back in the ring and splits Zayn in half with a running spear and covers Zayn to get the win. So winner is Braun Breaker. Alright, Paris talks with the Warriors backstage. Then New Day approach him in a dress in black with vials. In the morning, their title loss. New Day asks for a rematch, and then Becky Lynch walks in and wishes them well. Then and then she tells them that she hated Biggie and stuff, and then after that, she has to ring to address the triple threat match for Evolution. Alright, come back for commercial break to see Becky Lynch now in the ring. Lynch goes up against Liv Valkyria and Bayley at Evolution on Sunday, and Lynch wants to know how Bayley and Valkyria have a title match against her. Lynch talks about how on fire she is, and that's probably why Anna Pierce wants her on the card so bad, but she wants to pick her a home opponent like Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton got to. She claims that Valkyria and Bayley are in cahoots, and Bayley comes out to the ring, and before she can get a word out, Lyra Valkyria comes out too. Valkyria storms into the ring and asks Lynch why she's being a lunatic. Valkyria says she wants her title back. Bayley says she should be the IC champ, and she isn't because of Valkyria. Bayley tells Valkyria she doesn't need partners of friends, but she needs Lynch's championship. Valkyria tells Bayley that she had no part in taking her out, and it was all Lynch's fault. Lynch tries to get in Valkyria's head, and Valkyria tells Bayley that she's just like Lynch, and now Valkyria has to keep that championship from two massive disappointments. Bayley says she's always been a Valkyria fan and always support her, and then calls Valkyria a bitch. Valkyria goes to punch Bayley, but punches out Bayley. Valkyria then beats up Bayley and knocks her out of the ring, and then hits a Nightwing on Lynch, and then hits a Nightwing on Bayley. Alright, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Bronson are backstage and stuff, and talking about Karrion Kross. Seth Rollins tells Braun Breaker not to worry about Karrion Kross. Nobody likes him and stuff. Then he's going to drop, and then Paul Heyman comes by and tells him he just heard that Sami Zayn is out indefinitely after what Breaker did to him. Rollins tells Reed he should do the same to Jey Uso. We cut to the concession area, and Jey Uso is surrounded by eaters, and he heads to the ring for his match. Alright, so third match coming up, Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. Reed goes at Uso and the bell, and Uso hits him with some punches. Uso kicks Reed in the corner, and Reed stops Uso from whipping him into the corner. Reed takes down Uso with the clothesline. Reed hits a jumping elbow on Uso and tries to splash him but misses. Uso starts with punches and strikes on Reed and kicks Reed out of the ring. Uso runs the ropes and jumps through the middle rope and takes out Reed, who flies over the announce desk. Uso clears the announce desk and Reed gets back on his feet and um, headbutts Uso. Uso kicks Reed into a chair, and Uso super kicks Reed while he's seated, knocking him and the chair over. Uso gets in the ring and goes for another suicide dive, and Reed launches a chair into Uso, and the ref calls for the bell. So everybody disqualification, Jey Uso. After the match, Reed tsunamis Uso twice, and officials run out to stop Uso from getting beaten up. Reed leaves the ring as the officials check on Uso. All right. Anyways, LA Knight cuts a promo and talks about Seth Rollins and stuff about to pay him his debt, all this stuff. And then a video package for Rhea Ripley plays and talks about Io Sky and stuff. All right. So next match is El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. Americano and Lee run around the ring. They lock up and Americano takes down Lee with a shoulder check. Lee rolls up Americano for a quick 1 count. Americano takes down Lee and then trips up Americano. Americano covers Lee for a quick 1 count. Americano rolls around the ring and celebrates. Americano gets splashed on and covered for a 2 count. Lee puts Americano in a waist lock, and Americano arm drags Lee to break the hold. The Lee monkey flips Americano, who lands on his feet, and then is dropped a kick by Lee. Americano rolls out of the ring, and Lee kicks him onto the announce desk. Lee flies out of the ring into a kick by Americano, and Americano pulls Lee out of the ring. Lee is driven into the steel steps and is thrown over the barricades to the timekeeper's area and become a commercial break. Back to the match. Americano has Lee in the corner on the top rope. Lee knocks him off and flips over Americano. Americano climbs the ropes again, and Lee catches him and powerbombs Americano and covers for a 2 count. Lee kicks Americano a couple times and then kicks Americano in the corner. Lee hits a running drop kick and covers Americano, who kicks out at 2. Americano chops Lee and then runs into the ropes and comes down, throwing Lee to the mat. With a blockbuster, Lee is bounced off the top turnbuckle, and then Americano gets caught on the ropes. Lee jumps off the top rope, landing on Americano's chest. Lee covers Americano for a near fall. Lee flies over the top rope, taking out Americano, who had rolled outside. Lee comes off the top rope, and Americano puts a plate in his mask and hits a diving headbutt and gets the win. So winner is El Grande Americano. And also that's Ludwig Kaiser, because Ludwig Kaiser is more taller than Chad Gable and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, we have Penta Roma, and then Paul Heyman comes by and tells Penta he's going to be taken out tonight. Whatever. Braun Breaker tells Penta to respect Heyman, and Penta screams at Breaker and leaves. All right, cut commercial break. Then Gunther makes his way out to the ring. Gunther talks about Bill Goldberg on Saturday. He says he has been verbally abusing Goldberg for the last 2 weeks, and Goldberg hasn't retaliated, so that must mean that Goldberg is afraid. We see Goldberg rip into the parking lot and makes his way out to the ring. He gets in the ring and stands face to face with Gunther. Goldberg yells at Gunther and says they should go at it now. Goldberg knocks the mic out of Gunther's hand and tells Gunther to punch him. Gunther goes to strike Goldberg, but Goldberg drops Gunther. Goldberg goes to spear Gunther, but Gunther rolls out of the ring and heads to the back. Sorry, I couldn't say that correctly and all that stuff. So anyways, Penta walks backstage ahead of his match, and as he walks by Grayson Waller and talking to the New Day. Then we cut Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman walking towards the ring for our next match. Alright, main event, 5th match, Penta versus Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Penta super kicks Rollins right off the bell, sending Rollins out of the ring. Penta kicks Rollins around the ring. Rollins is slammed into the barricades, and Penta chops Rollins, who now rolls back in the ring. Rollins rolls out of the ring again, and Penta goes after him and slams Rollins' head into an announce desk. Penta misses a blow to Rollins. This allows Rollins to toss Penta into the timekeeper's area. Penta hits a head scissor off the barricades on Rollins outside the ring. Penta rolls Rollins into the ring, and Rollins starts stomping Penta. The second he enters the ring, Penta is choked out in the corner, and Penta catches Rollins with a kick and kicks him some more. Rollins kicks Penta and goes for the pedigree, but Penta breaks out of the hold. Rollins is clotheslined out of the ring, and Penta flies over the ropes and takes out Rollins. So we cut commercial break. Back to the match. Penta punches Rollins into the corner, and Rollins fights back and snapmares Penta, then kicks him in the spine. Rollins uses Penta's mask to wipe his face, and then puts Penta in a waistlock. Penta punches Rollins and chops him against the ropes. Rollins is kicked and taken down with a sling blade. Penta kicks Rollins in the corner and hits a handstand double boot on Rollins in the corner. Penta goes for the Penta driver, and Rollins powers out of it. Penta hits a backstabber on Rollins and covers him for a near fall. Rollins catches Penta and gets him on the shoulders. Penta fights out of it and is caught by Rollins again. Rollins hits a gut buster and then hits a frog splash and almost gets the pin on Penta. Rollins goes to stomp Penta, but Penta moves Rollins, climbs a turnbuckle, and Penta kicks him while he's up there. Penta runs from the apron and hits a hurricane on Rollins. Penta hits a Penta driver and covers Rollins for a near fall. Penta tries for the sacrifice, but Rollins kicks Penta. Rollins hits a buckle bomb on Penta, and Penta flies back with the Mexican Destroyer and covers Rollins, who gets his hand on the ropes. Breaking the pin. Penta goes for another Penta driver, but Rollins slams his head into Penta's groin, blowing him. Rollins hits the come on, stupid thing. Rollins hits the stomp on Penta and gets the win. So winner is Seth Rollins. After the match, Heyman gets on the phone and calls Breaker and Reed to come attack Penta. LA Knight comes running from the crowd and hits BFT on Rollins and runs back into the crowd. Rollins, Breaker, and Reed fume in the ring as LA Knight celebrates in the ring and celebrates in the crowd. And then that's how the show ends and stuff. So yeah, that was a good show. I enjoyed it. The show tonight was very good. There were some good matches on there and stuff. So yeah, tonight was very good. And the crowd, oh my god, the fans are so loud and stuff. Even though I had my TV full blast and stuff, but man, it was so loud. The fans were super loud and stuff. But I don't care if my TV was loud. But I'm not complaining about it. But man, it was good though. The fans were very good tonight and stuff. So yeah, anyways, that was his first video. Hope you like it. Not whatever stuff. So like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment. If you guys want to leave a comment stuff, I don't care, guys do. And that was it. And I'll see you guys Wednesday night for the go home show for AEW Dynamite for AEW All In. Alright? Laters.